and glad to be speaking to this bill. Actually, I'd rather not be speaking to this bill. I don't think we should dismeasure. I'd rather not be speaking on it. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's a total overreach of the government for political expediency, and it's inappropriate, and it's very selective. And that will be probably the nature of my comments here tonight. But first of all, I do want to thank all the members of the staff here this evening, table officers, interpreters, food services, maintenance. We appreciate what you do for us staying these late hours of the night. And yeah, they give the cafeteria workers, they're here half an hour later than we finished tonight. So, thank you to them. Also want to thank the Parliamentary Protective Services who've had long hours over here on the Hill for the past 3 weeks in order to keep order. They've been having a lot of polite conversations with the protesters and approaching them with a calm, professional demeanor. And I can't help but wonder that if the Liberal government would have had the same approach, that the situation would be where it is today. Matter of fact, I'm sure it would not be. They made absolutely no effort to reach out. And it's not just in the past 3 weeks, Madam Speaker. This is the approach they've had, that's just what they've had over the years. During the pandemic and beforehand. I can't think of a single time that the Prime Minister or any member of the Cabinet, for that matter, has even taken a minute to voice any degree of willingness to listen to the Canadians who disagree with them on the measures that the government has taken to promote the exclusion of Canadians based on vaccination status. Prime Minister and many other Liberal caucus members try to paint anyone not fully vaccinated or not supportive of exclusionary mandates as enemies, questioning whether they should be tolerated. Canada, we're talking about. It's known for our tolerance. It's known for our multiculturalism. And this is the type of approach that our government is taking constantly. It's their mode of operation. Let me go back to last year when 50 churches were burned down. They said, the Prime Minister said this: "One of my reflections is I understand the anger that's out there against institutions like the Catholic Church. It is real. It is fully understandable, the shameful history that we've all becoming more and more aware of, and engaging ourselves to do better." Such pious words. It's wrong, Madam Speaker. Burning of churches for the Prime Minister and this Liberal government is understandable, but no desire to show concern for those protesting now. He told several church leaders that evangelical Christians were the worst part of Canadian society. Yes, exclusionary tolerance. That's what I'm speaking about. Talking about 3%. Madam Speaker?
Order. I just ruled on this a few minutes ago for the minister, and now I'm having the minister do exactly what was being what somebody had asked not to do. And I know that the ministers want to ensure that they are role models in this house, and I would ask them to hold their discussions and their thoughts when it's the appropriate time to do so. And I would also ask the opposition members as well not to engage in the discussions as well, especially when I'm speaking. So resuming debate, the honourable member for Pitt Meadows, Maple Ridge.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker, for those comments, and I'm happy to answer questions afterwards. I think of something that the Prime Minister once said regarding exclusion and intolerance. Let me quote here. He spoke about an event that killed several people and wounded hundreds, many of them losing arms and legs. He said, "But there is no question that this happened because there is someone who felt completely excluded. And our approach has been, and has to be, where do those tensions come from? Where do those tensions come from? Who was he speaking about? He was speaking about the Boston Marathon bombers, not the families and others here in front of us. That's his approach to those that he might identify with, and yet he's excluding many others. It's shameful. It's shameful and it's divisive. Why now has he no willingness to understand where these tensions come from? It is because he knows that the answer to that question of why there's these tensions, these problems, is in the mirror. You just have to look in the mirror. Does the Prime Minister think that calling anyone that is not fully vaccinated or against their exclusionary mandates, calling them a bigot, a racist, is a way to help relieve tensions? No, it's not. Does asking if their very existence should be tolerated help relieve tensions? Of course it doesn't. But you know what it does do? It drives wedges through the population, and they are masters at wedges. That's their whole this is their way to win elections is wedges. Who cares if it's dividing Canada? Yes, shame on that government. Shame. And that's what this Prime Minister and his colleagues like to do. For them, it's a great electoral strategy. Understand that. It's electoral. If all this was an electoral strategy, and don't ask me, you could ask members from their own political party. That's what it is. Electoral strategy. It's obvious from this side. It's not, and it's obvious to different ones on that side, even within their own benches. Cater to 35% approximately, maybe Toronto, Montreal, maybe downtown Vancouver. Listen, we can win the election with that. We'll expand it a bit. Who cares what we're doing in Canada? Who cares if we exclude Alberta, most of Alberta, Saskatchewan, rural parts of Canada, conservatives or Nazis? You know, who cares? As long as we got 35%, as long as we can sit on that side, who cares what happens to Canada? Do you care? Through you, Madam Speaker. Through you. Do they care? I don't think so. That's ridiculous. Honestly, there's some things, principle is a lot more important than just winning elections. Do we get it? So just as other parties, they're obsessed with poll numbers. No, I understand polling's important. Les libéraux sont obsédés.
Point of order.
Order. Again, maybe the honourable member wasn't in and is just walking in, but it's not questions and comments at the moment. Was there a point of order down there?
Same reason. Ministers,
okay.
the government side.
I took care of it, yes. Order. I already ruled on that, so again, I would ask the honourable members of the government side to please hold on to their tongue until it's time to do so. The honourable member for Pitt Meadows Maple Ridge has 2.5 minutes left. 2.5 minutes.
Merci.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you. The Liberals are obsessed with polls. Several times today, the member for Kingston made fun of the Bloc by referring to polls. He said Quebecers would not vote for the Bloc anymore.
Que le Bloc et le Parti conservateur ont une approche très différente que les libéraux, les libéraux soutenus par les néo-démocrates.
Stand against the Liberals who are being supported by the NDP.
Yeah, we don't agree with them on most things, but yes, we do understand. The Bloc
still having that debate in between. I'll tell you, I actually had a call from someone from Wendover this week who had indicated that it's really not pleasant for them to listen to debates or listen to votes when people are heckling in the House. And I'm sure if he's listening tonight, he'll appreciate the fact that I put this forward. So again, questions and comments will be in just under 2 minutes. I'm sure that the honourable members can wait and the honourable ministers can wait until then to ask a question. The honourable member for Pitt Meadows Maple Ridge.
Yes, Madam Speaker. This is a precedent-setting precedent-setting, first-time ever invocation of the Emergencies Act. They didn't seem to be so quick to impose it recently when there were blockades. I disagree with blockades, with violence anywhere, spoken out against it when I was an MP, as an MLA in British Columbia, and as a Conservative MP. But they pick and choose. Go way over. The blockades were actually here on the borders. They're already gone before the imposition. This was totally unnecessary. It's totally a purpose of diversion. Let me just say one thing, and that is this. Why are we having this all of a sudden? Well, it seems to me a couple things. Things that their pandemic strategy might have been, well, what's going on here? Let's impose mandates upon truckers who'll be able to drive back and forth in the past 2 years, keep the supply chains open, bring that in, and try to double down when there was pushback. They don't care if tens of thousands of Canadians are losing their jobs. And I talk to them. I talk to truckers. I talk to many others. There is not a compassion. It's like that's political fodder for them to win, to strategize, not realizing that how many countries are opening up? How many provinces are opening up? No, we're going to double down on this right here. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Questions and comments? The Honourable Minister for Families, Children and Social Development.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The honourable member made some interesting comments. I was glad to hear him denounce violence, although I didn't hear that with regards to the blockade here in Ottawa. I was concerned by some of the rhetoric that he was using. I think we all need to be reducing the volume and de-escalating. However, he was being very accusatory towards the members on this side who have always stood against violence. I would like to ask the member opposite how he feels that the words that he used de-escalated the situation. I would also like to ask him about the
I have other people ask questions as well. Questions and comments. You all remember Pitt Meadows, Maple Ridge?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I don't happen to be the Prime Minister, okay? I'm not. So, the Prime Minister is the person that is right in front, supported by the cabinet, supported by the Liberals. And here's the thing. I used direct quotes. I was using direct quotes that our Prime Minister has said. I'm not just making things up right here. These are the words. He called them a misogynist, racist, extremists, Nazis. That's the word. Oh, flippant. Oh, is it the truckers? Is it unvaccinated? It is Christians. Is it this? Is it the Western? Oh, whatever. We'll keep our little power base. Maybe grow that a bit. Sorry. Inappropriate for Canada. Inappropriate.
Commentaires. L'honorable